So Strictly Business needs to change things up in game number 2. I love the fact that they did pick the Cuckoo Clan in the very last pick to avoid some of the shenanigans from Rygaklu's Nemesis. The problem was the build didn't really have enough oomph in it with the Bumba's Mask. This is more of a Morrigan kind of item that you want to be able to get in for close range combat, not something that Cuckoo Clan really excels at.
What do you think that InControl bear does on a day-to-day basis? Did you see the logo?
Yeah.
There, like, that thing's intense.
Yeah. A hoodie, sleeveless hoodie.
Sleeveless hoodie.
F-Dot loves sleeveless hoodies.
He's all about that.
He's all about that life. And then a sawed-off shotgun.
And a stogie. And
that's right. Well, it looks like more like a cigar.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know, man. It's like short. He's been smoking it for a long time. I don't know. Like, so, what do you think his backstory is?
So while all the other bears are like waiting for fish to jump out of the water, he's shooting them.
Right.
In the water.
Right. And then, you know, just taking a bite out of them with the cigar still in his mouth.
Yes.
It's like, why are you doing that? It's not going to work. But he does it and it works anyways.
Or he does like that cool cartoon thing where he's like, he spits it up in the air, the cigar, and then he like eats it, swallows the fish hole, and then lands back down.
Yeah, that's big plays by him for sure. Shouts to the InControl bear. Sobek first pick again. Very similar bands. Poseidon first banned once again by InControl. Definitely looking at logically with those bands.
Sure. A lot of burst damage from those two gods, so maybe that's where logically really relies on those mages. But Kumbhakarna Rama, not having seen either of those two gods in this last game, could allow them for some dual lane pressure.
Man, I'll tell you what. Whenever it's Xbox versus PS4 at the LAN, it's going to be very interesting to see these metas clash up against one another, because to go 4 bans and now 6 picks with none of any of the following.
No Freya.
Athena, Freya, Chernobog, Pele, Baron.
It's wild.
None of those picked or banned. Xbox teams might have a field day with those picks, or they aren't as good on the these PS4 players know how to handle them, and they'll get their priority picks, and that might be enough.
Could be a waiting game where it's like, oh, they'll ban it in the second phase, and we'll get the scraps and remainders, but no, that's not the case yet either.
Unreal. I mean, that is crazy. Opwash Scylla bans, especially with Raijin already being selected for InControl. They ban away 2 mages?
Yeah, I don't know the direction there, but at the end of the day, we'll see how the rest of the draft kind of pans out.
Yeah, we'll see. Pass, because
why not?
There's nothing good open, right?
Obviously not.
We already took care of all top 5 meta guys.
Oh yeah,
we're good in that regard.
Maybe it's an unspoken rule.
Maybe
between these two teams.
Amaterasu. There's the top pick that we see fairly often at the highest level of play. Selected here. Artio as well gets a lot of play, as does Sobek, but not quite to the same level as those other guys that we were talking about.
Ravana,
not bad.
InControl is going to be able to have a field day, I think, on this pick, diving the Rama.
Ah, there we go. We got one.
9th pick, Chernobog.
Seems good. Seems good. It's Strictly Business need a mid laner. Do you know of any top tier mid laners that are open in this draft? Oh,
can't think of a single one aggro.
Well, they already banned Opwash, Scylla, Vulcan, Poseidon, the top 4 for sure. So yeah, Ra is the only thing left open. It totally makes sense. Good long range damage though, with good setup from Strictly Business composition. Is that enough to earn them the victory this time around? Make sure you get your vote in the Mixer chat. I am excited for, I was kind of joking about it, but I think that is always interesting to see if these teams, clearly very comfortable with one another and very familiar with one another in these picks and bans. Is that normal, you think, to see the top four of the top 5 gods go unpicked, unbanned in the competitive meta?
Like we always say, it's not necessarily about the meta, it's about your team's identity as well. And I think there's something to be said about Strictly Business draft that speaks volumes about their identity. So logically, definitely likes burst damage. Lil Tony loves movement speed.
He does.
Going from Pele to the Amaterasu. JacobTask loves Guardians that just have a lot of control. Playing a good Xing Qian in the last game into now a Kuzenbo that has a lot of displacement between the Watery Grave and the Sumo Slam. Forger Vulcan obviously likes a lot of control as well, going from Athena to the Kumbhakarna. And Dylan just likes late game hyper carry hunters, whether it's Chernobog or Rama.
Give me the psychological breakdown for InControl now.
Okay. Rygaklu went from Nemesis to the Ravana gods that like to go in the backline and stay in the backline between the Nemesis shield versus overhead kick. Shaolin playing Sobek yet again. Nothing to break down there. XCovi switching things up rather drastically. He might have a split personality disorder from this game, going from the Chiron to the Raijin.
Right.
A decent amount of range, I would say, is the only similarity of the ultimates.
Okay.
JoltakFromXbox.
They both have slows.
What was JoltakFromXbox playing last game?
JoltakFromXbox played the...
Terra.
Terra, thank you.
Okay, so Terra and Artio. Going from team sustain to individual sustain. A lot of control.
Lane bully in a lot of ways.
He has a thing for thick chicks.
Okay.
Outbound.
There's that.
Just likes damage.
Well,
Going from the Freya to the Chernobog. 9th pick, by the way.
9th pick, by the way. Joltak continuing to play aggressive alongside Outbound in that lane.
You know what they say, aggro?
What's that?
Thick thighs saves lives.
Well, that actually reminds me of another saying. You know what they say?
Watch your step.
Whenever you don't watch your step, you get rooted by crystallized curses.
That's true.
They do say that a lot. I don't know if you.
That's a good song, by the way. For those of you that haven't heard it. It's by Scars on Broadway. They say.
What song?
Exactly.
All right.
They say.
You win this round, Tolly. I'm lost.
That's the name of the song.
Okay. I'll check it out. Little Tony on this Amaterasu jungle. We've seen a lot of Ama. A tiny bit of her in solo. That's mostly Kiki. A lot of her in support. That's just about everybody at the top end. And none of her in the jungle. Why do you think Little Tony, besides just his love for movement speed and the need to go fast, why do you think he picks it up in this game?
He could be trying to focus out the dual lane. Joltak not having any CC immunity would be a good target to go on, especially when xCovi, another good target to go on, has reduced movement speed tremendously during his own Taiko Drum ultimate, and that could be the main focus point. You get the passive going on him for the 10% damage amplification. You guarantee all 3 hits after the Thunder Crash because you are CC immune during Dazzling Offensive, and that's just going to keep getting amplified.
Has the option for it. I don't know. It just feels like Strictly Business really prioritized. I mean, they first picked the Kumbhakarna. They very early picked the Kuzenbo as well. So they really wanted to get their front line in order and then decided they needed a little bit more of it. Maybe some more setup for logically on the Ra was the idea.
I mean, you can't be mad at Amaterasu movement speed aura in team fights. You make it to the late game, and Lil Tony is going to be calling the shots, I think, at that point.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just worried about Strictly Business's potential to get to that late game with a composition like this, where normally Ama is... It's funny how just role alone dictates so much of what a character can do. Because in solo lane, as Tony is dead, xCovi with a nice solo kill for the first blood. Really well done by xCovi. In solo lane, Ama is known as one of, if not the lowest pressure warriors. In duo lane, she brings great pressure in the support role. In jungle, I imagine it's a little bit more akin to her solo lane, where she won't be providing a lot of pressure in the early game.
She's more about the counter engage coming from the jungle role than actually playing setup. It's very easy to take away any camps from her, like we just saw xCovi did. I think he even disrupted the dash with a Thunder Crash, being able to intercept that one, and then once the dash from Amaterasu is down, she's a sitting duck, especially before level 5, where she does have that dazzling offensive, and good hyper-aggression from xCovi, just capitalizing on that weakness.
When you're full HP and it's an Ama jungle right in front of you whose dash is down in 1/3 HP, that's a good opportunity to go aggressive.
And also the positioning from xCovi, he was able to shift the angle of his percussive storm to not only hit the minions, but clip Lil Tony along the side.
That is enough to get him his Book of Thoughts early. This logically also goes for a stacking item early on, but not the book that we've seen a lot more of. It's this Warlock Staff.
Interesting.
This time around. Even having 3 frontliners feels like he needs a little bit more protection.
It was common at the beginning of Season 5 and towards Season 4 to rush this item, making sure that you would be safe in your own backline, not having to rely on your Guardians to peel for you, so that makes a little bit of sense. And between the mobility that a Ra has, you add some health to him, becomes even more difficult to lock him down. There's no real percent damage coming from InControl. There's no Nemesis that you have to worry about compared to last game. So I don't mind this. Trying to go for a more defensive style. You just got to worry about some of these offensive plays.
Offensive by Rygaklu and SSINS as they were able to get in there and almost strip away the blue, though it looks like JacobTask was able to secure it. Did cost him his ultimate. So he'll be a little bit more vulnerable, and by that I mean he will now be 2% vulnerable instead of 1% vulnerable.
Ah.
That is a little bit more.
Sure.
It's just still not.
It's kind of like milk, right? Do you want 2% milk, whole milk, almond milk?
I definitely don't want skim milk. I can tell you that right now, under any circumstances. I'm also not an almond milk guy. I like almonds, I like milk, but I don't need them together. Lil Tony forced into dazzling offensive. Outbound also used Living Nightmare, so that's a win unquestionably for Strictly Business. Taiko Drum's a longer cooldown than dazzling offensive. Anyways, you add in a global ultimate on top of that, that's a 2-for-1 for Strictly Business.
But now you don't have to worry about the jungle pressure from Lil Tony as well, and without those Taiko Drums to peel away, there could be a small window where Forger Vulcan comes in, forces a beads, and then follow up from Logically.
Quick pause as InControl sitting up a little bit right now, about 1,000 gold in a game that's absolutely critical for them. If they win this game, they are coming to LAN. If not, it might be going to Coalition. So one they absolutely need to win.
It's going to be crucial. And I think currently it's been a slow and steady pace compared to the last game where both of these teams were firing from the get-go. But the draft currently from Strictly Business, it seems to be more this mid to late game team fighting draft as opposed to this early pick in composition. So I think that InControl should be the ones looking for plays as long as they have the vision around the buffs that they are actually targeting out.
They've got some solid vision on the enemy red currently. Not a lot else in the enemy jungle. There's not a lot of wards on the map in general. In fact, I don't think that Strictly Business have a single ward on the map right now, which is not an easy way to win a competitive game in Smite. I don't know that I've ever seen a team with 0 wards on the map at 7 minutes. That's incredibly unlikely.
Have you not played ranked recently?
In a competitive setting here, totally. I'm talking about a game where we're casting here from the Skillshot Studios. In my ranked games, I'm warding my own back harpies on cooldown because that's where I'm getting killed.
Fair enough.
Because my team isn't helping me. All right? But in this sort of setting, to have no wards on the map at all is pretty crazy.
It's very dicey. Strictly Business needs to make sure that they identify what direction InControl are going, because it definitely is the case on the opposite end, even having a regular ward above Strictly Business's red to see where Lil Tony is going to travel and trickle down the left side of the map.
Forger Vulcan has an Oracle Chalice, so he's got 2 in inventory, but hasn't placed any quite yet. There we go. We're in business, baby. That's a red ward.
Can we look at wards placed just to see how many wards were there in total?
There have been 2 those are the first 2 placed of the entire game by Strictly Business right there. It's now, you don't need a vision to know that MysteriousDylan's in a bit of trouble, though it would help you to know that Rygaklu's coming around the back, as Outbound already used his dash. Lil Tony uses Dazzling Offensive, and Outbound uses that Living Nightmare in order to reset his cooldowns, but can't chase.
No Mystic Crush out of Rygaklu in that last encounter. Lil Tony was in lethal range for that damage, I believe, but wanting to hold it for a rainy day. Now with a blink down from Lil Tony, this could be the opportunity that Rygaklu needs to find the kill, or maybe for XCovi, as he's hiding and lurking around the corner. Going to poke out Logically, doing about 200 damage. Going to get negated by the heal.
You know what's another way to know if someone is hiding in your jungle ready to attack you?
Guessing.
No. It's buying...
Phoning a friend.
Sometimes. Yeah.
Asking the audience?
Yes, that almost always. No, the audience...
50-50.
50-50 is a big one. It's also buying Eye of Providence. That's...
Oh, so you got to like roll back the Smite servers to like yesteryear.
Right. Yeah, to like season... Was Eye of Providence in season 3? I don't think so.
No.
I think season 2 was the last time that was a thing.
Probably season 2, I think.
Especially for our PS4 viewers and console viewers alike, Eye of Providence, probably not something they're particularly familiar with. It was basically Oracle Chalice on a relic that way back in the day was absolutely overpowered. Because you'd upgrade it, and not only would it be a sentry, but it also saw through walls. Walls didn't stop the Eye of Providence.
I think I was the first one to like religiously purchase that item, because when I would play like utility mages like Hell, Ra, whatnot, I'm not trying to get ganked every couple of minutes.
That's right. Lil Tony getting ganked right now. Snipe lands on a Rygaklu, but that's about all the damage onto that Robin for the moment, though. MysteriousDylan's going to come in and do a little bit. Forger Vulcan tosses XCovi up. Thunder crashes there, but MysteriousDylan does find Rygaklu Joltak trying to chase down logically. Beads forced. Or for him to stay safe is Dylan a little bit off the mark with that Astral Barrage that lets xCovi off the hook.
Thanking his lucky stars as xCovi escapes to the left side of the map. Overall, a 1-for-0. Strictly Business able to pick off Rygaklu for his transgressions ever so slightly. Although Little Tony did fall before that at the back camps.
That's right.
And that's
jungler for jungler.
The vision control that they had, identifying where Little Tony was, and not having beads really is going to hurt Little Tony. And Amaterasu is not one of these goddesses that can make too many plays before level 12 anyway that you want to invest Blink for, so I'm a little surprised he elected to go for that option.
I agree, but there's not a lot of things that I want besides Blink, right? If you're Little Tony, I mean, beads, sure, wouldn't be horrible, but there's not that much guaranteed CC from InControl. I think Aegis might have been better than beads pre-level 12 before the Sobek starts joining fights. Maybe honestly, I think like a horrific emblem.
Or a Sunder even.
Yeah, or a Sunder. Something aggressive in that nature, I think would have served him a little bit better. Outbound again uses Living Nightmare, and Outbound's nightmares so far have been a little bit more tame, you know? Whereas like a lot of Chernobog nightmares that you send your opposition's way, it's like real bad ones, you know, there's like some sort of, I don't know, like a car crash or something like that. Outbounds are like, I forgot to do my homework, and I'm walking into class.
He needs to like upgrade to like Freddy Krueger levels if he wants to make the impact.
I still get those nightmares all the time, though.
The Freddy Krueger ones?
No, not the Freddy Krueger ones. The ones where I forgot to do my homework, or I like didn't go to a class, and now I'm nervous about going back, and I get like a lot of anxiety about it. I've been out of school for like longer than I would like to realize.
Man, you've seen some stuff in your life then.
I have, man. It was tough. It was a tough life out there. Let me tell you what.
It's only tough if you make it tough.
I made it tough. I'll come up front about that right now. I made it way harder than it needed to be. Teleport from the enemy jungle to his side, JacobTask. Able to get back towards the solo lane, not miss out on too much farm, though it looks like Shaolin has been able to push a couple waves underneath that tower. It's already down to about half.
That kind of information, seeing this enemy solo laner just teleport right in front of your face, instant Gold Fury, snap call, no hesitation, InControl, starting it up. I don't think Strictly Business can get in range. No, actually, they will leash it for the moment. Shaolin looking for the setup, will pluck out logically, but not much setup. Will force out a sprint, however.
xCovi, Thunder crashes away as Little Tony insta-killed. I mean, he goes from 100 to 0 real fast, and now Forger Vulcan tossed up, has a toss-up of his own with Epic Uppercut, but he'll be tossed down 3 in a row now for xCovi. He's 3-0. Gold Fury should be nice and easy this time for InControl.
All because JacobTask teleported on the right side of the map where Shaolin just walked on over casually. Also having Breastplate of Valor for this Sobek as opposed to JacobTask only sitting at tier 2 is a power spike play that's even worth considering team fighting.
Good identification by InControl, and they take a pretty commanding lead because of it. Now, I mean, 13,000 or 13 minutes to be up 4,000 gold by this point is not just noticeable, but very difficult to fight into.
Oh, absolutely. And things are only going to get dicier during these team fights once tier 1 towers start getting taken off the table. JacobTask can get plucked away. Rygaklu around the corner, waiting for the Sumo Slam.
There's the Sumo Slam, and there goes JacobTask. So good pluck once again by Shaolin. No ultimate quite yet for Jacob. Mystic Rush in order to make sure that Lurking the Water does even more damage, and Shaolin setting it up. Should have Sickening Strike right away, and there finally goes down the Kuzenbo. Rygaklu gets the damage and the kill, but really it was Shaolin who did the majority of that work.
It took a little while for anyone to make this counter rotation. Forger Vulcan should have been here years ago, I feel, or if anybody should have been there, it's Little Tony with all that movement speed between the aura, his speed buff, and even the blink. Surprised not to see that counter gank.
Also, yeah, could have blinked in with that relic pickup. Outbound starting to lose this trade on the left-hand side up against MysteriousDylan. Both players pretty similar in their build path, so Dylan going for the Ichval. Not done yet, though. That boxing exchange going heavily in his favor would be explained by an Ichval pickup, so good as a boxing 1v1 item. But with only sitting on short bow, you feel like Outbound should still be in control here.
Little bit, but Astral, I think it comes down to the matchup as well. Astral Arrows, easier to poke. Outbound can almost never safely guarantee his root combination. It's so easy to juke once you actually get Boots 3 completed. You see him go one way. You can even roll to the side and avoid all that burst damage. But if you're just trading basic attack for basic attack with Astral Arrows up, it should be going to Dylan every single time.
Shaolin gets his dash blocked, and there's the blink forward from Rygaklu. XCovi trying to decide on a target with those Taiko drums. It's Forger Vulcan. Snipe splits the uprights as Vulcan falls to XCovi's Percussive Storm. Again, Strictly Business caught out, and a lack of wards ends up punishing them. There's no wards on that top side of the Pyromancer.
Oh, Shaolin looking for the blink pluck. A little off the mark that time around, but enough to get the team the tier 1 tower. Now he's getting Sumo Sand up against the wall. Celestial Beam a little bit out of range. Astral Barrage needs to land the third one.
Perfect from Dylan. He just likes to put a little bit of drama involved there. Gets a little bit dramatic for us.
To be continued.
That's right. Meme. That's right.
Avoid the first two.
Exactly. What will happen next on the next episode of the PS4 Console League? And then we come right back because it's back-to-back episodes, and you find out right away. Back-to-back Dragon Ball Z episodes really were a lifesaver as a kid.
Oh yeah.
If I had to like only watch one at a time, it would have been rough.
So, little fact about me, I actually recorded every single Dragon Ball Z episode up till the Majin Buu series in VHS tapes.
You still have them?
They're back in New York.
That's dope. I'm about that totally. That's big plays by you. VHS tape recordings are big plays. Big plays trying to be made by Shaolin, but then he gets crushed down. Good snipe. Biologically set up by his Guardians, and Shaolin punished for going a little bit too deep on the Sobek. And now towards the Pyromancer, go Strictly Business. No raw stats to confirm it this time around, though. They've got to rely on their coordinated damage as a unit, but with XCovi here and with Taiko drums, that might be difficult. Taiko drums.
Oh, needs to find the last one, and he did. The passive from Forger Vulcan shall be popped, but no one gonna try to go down that corridor. That is just a death trap waiting to happen. Oh, so many games and team fights have been decided in that one particular corridor that I can even remember.
Certainly a deadly one. I don't know that InControl know that was Kumbha passive, though. I think XCovi might assume that Forger Vulcan just lived through that final shot because there was no one in range to see it. He knows he hit it, but and that's an important cooldown to know because it'll really determine if you want to dive at Kumbhakarna or not. Yeah. In a lot of team fights. We'll see if InControl are able to play around that here.
I think they still will, honestly, because currently Forger Vulcan doesn't have that much magical defense. Hasn't finished off the... Okay, now as I say that, he does have magical defense in the form of the Genji's Guard. Going to have 70 magical protection there. A little bit of cooldown reduction. It's so difficult to truly find that in a support build, so take it where you can get it.
Gold Fury respawns, and InControl hitting it as soon as its feet touch the ground or hover above the ground. As soon as it spawns, they're hitting it. It's already down to about 2,500 HP. Lil Tony is here. Forger Vulcan more worried about JoltakFromXbox, who's zoning and is able to secure the Gold Fury for his team. Is logically got to use the Aegis. Nice Mystic Rush by Rygaklu. Put some damage back, but Shaolin able to be the one to confirm it. Good pluck once more. Taiko drums up. Forger Vulcan remembers this song. I swear I just heard this on the radio. XCovi able to get the kill once again. This time, no passing.
Hey, it's a good song, all right?
Yeah, that's
right. One of those top 100 pop songs that no one ever gets tired of.
No, and I can't wait to hear it for the next 6 months.
There's going to be like remixes of it, right? Like Despacito 2.
Right, love that song. Yeah.
It's a great one.
Tier 1 tower goes down on the left-hand side. We don't have to move on quite yet, Tully. I mean, you can just... Alexa can play Despacito 1 in memory of these duo lane towers. It's another 2,000 gold for InControl, who are now up 9K at just 19 minutes.
It's pretty good. About almost 500 gold per minute played thus far. This is a good pacing to be able to get your 5th items at the 19-minute mark, where the enemy team's still working on their 4th.
And just like we saw earlier on in the North American Xbox scene, there's a team that should be able to win this set and should punch their ticket. But look at the difference in what Flashpoint was doing in that Xbox side, where they had all these weird comps, had a couple team fights that kind of went awry, where they're just doing these weird things, teleport on their hunter, and then what InControl is doing, which is just playing it, straight to the letter, basically.
Well, the thing is, InControl have not repeated the same thing they did in game number 1. They're experimenting, I still think, with some of their picks and bans. The only similarity is the Sobek from game 1 and game 2. And InControl can still easily adapt to a lot of these changes. They were basically baiting Strictly Business in a weird spot by picking up Freya, Athena, and all that stuff. Baron was like not even chosen as well. So they were willing to play against those gods. We just don't see it.
Just don't see it. Here, and Strictly Business could use some top-tier help at this point. Especially Lil Tony, who 0-3 on this Ama jungle. I think it's fair to say that Experiment has failed on this pick so far.
Not working out currently. Going for a Blackthorn's Hammer to get some cooldown reduction, getting MP5 while you're under that 50% mana threshold. JacobTask is the next focus fire. Lil Tony using that ultimate defensively.
Snipe lands, Rygaklu getting low, but he's going to up-down with that Mystic Rush. Dylan falls before he can get up into that Astral Barrage. Beam just off from Logically. Rygaklu nice and safe. Everyone else on Strictly Business, anything but blink forward by Shaolin. Tries to keep it going off the mark on the pluck. Haven't been able to say that a whole lot in this game. He's been pretty accurate. So Strictly Business only lose 2, 1 from each side lane. And this is where InControl need to make a choice. Do we go for tier 2 on the right-hand side, or do we go for the Fire Giant? It looks like they're willing to risk it for the biscuit.
Going for the Big Daddy objective. 21 minutes in, Logically without his ultimate. Zoning on the left side is JoltakFromXbox, and InControl confirm the objective.
First Fire Giant of the game goes down 21 minutes in. That's actually perfect timing because that ensures that InControl will have the next Fire Giant enhanced once it respawns. It'll be past the 25-minute mark. And they'll get this final tier 2 on the right-hand side. Only one regular structure left in the mid lane now for Strictly Business.
Outbound now deciding to back after laughing for a little bit longer. Looking at some of the item selections, JoltakFromXbox thinking about ways to end the game. Emperor's Armor going to make the Phoenix Sieges a lot easier. That last game, a little difficult considering Logically was playing the Cuckoo Clan. Still difficult against a Ra, but Celestial Beam versus Tornado, the amount of space control that Tornado has, it makes it even difficult walking up to a Phoenix, whereas the Beam, you're basically just avoiding your own minions at the end of the day.
Much easier to do that in this game against the Raws. Logically went for the double stack. In a game where your early game is already pretty weak with the Ama jungle, I think that slowing yourself down by this much isn't going to help you out, as it looks like there's an engagement here. Kovi uses Beads and Aegis and is now getting juggled. Has to use Taiko Drums just to CC immunity. Trying to put out as much damage as he can before he gets away, but get away he just might. Thunder Crash is right on time. Tony actually the first one out the door. Forger Vulcan follows him sleepily straight into that passive double kill for Shaolin. Rygaklu brings down Dylan. Outbound takes down JacobTask. And what looked like a decent engage turns on its head pretty quickly. Strictly Business lose 4.
They focused out Kovi really well, forcing out 2 early defensive relics, the ultimate from Taiko Drums. I'm surprised Logically missed that Celestial Beam, and after getting the middle Phoenix aggro, it looks like InControl are going for the end.
Titan getting lower. This is InControl's ticket to come to land, and come to land they will. Congratulations, InControl is your top team in the PS4 League in North America, and they're going to come and try and prove that they are better than their Xbox compatriots next month. Congratulations to them. They earned the victory.
12 minutes faster than game number 1. InControl were never out of control that game, really sticking to that logo's appearance.
That's right. I mean, that bear doesn't come to mess around, okay? He came to win, and maybe some other things that I don't really want to talk about on broadcast. But win, indeed, is what InControl do. Coalition made it interesting. They beat InControl in week 5, then got their win offline as well, up against Evil Lemons, but still just not quite enough.
Not quite enough. Week 6, an interesting kind of direction so far. I think with this victory, this puts InControl in a good momentum base. You got to be feeling good after this win. It was very clean in game number 2.
Absolutely. So make sure you understand who's the top end teams in North America. In fact, let's take a look at the standings for all of the PlayStation 4 League, so you can see who you can expect. It's Insomnia taking down Freaks T1. They will be coming to LAN, as will InControl. Again, InControl with the better plus-minus over Coalition. So congratulations to them. They were the top card all split long, all year long basically for the PS4, because that's the only option is in the fall split. And so that takes us towards the bracket, so we can check out what's going to be happening here at the Smite Console Wars 2018. It'll be Insomnia up against InControl. Winner of that, congratulations, you get to go up against Astral Authority.
So if it's based off of logos, who do you have? It's got to be InControl.
Free.
But then the next one, Flashpoint, Noxious.
Based off of logos alone, I think I'm liking Flashpoint's Black-White rebrand.
Really?
Yeah, you know, before it had like that heavy Jolteon feel, and I wasn't sure if I was all about that a couple years ago, but this Black-White rebrand that they went for, it looks pretty clean.
Yeah,
I'm going to go with them.
They're up against like this cute, evil, maniacal little fireball. I don't know. I wouldn't mess with that fireball.
I don't know. They're going to have a tough task up against rival, whoever does end up winning that game. But again, congratulations to Insomnia and InControl as your 2 champions from each region of the first split of the PS4 League. And now they've got to have their work cut out for them. Astral Authority can just start preparing. Do you think that Astral Authority would like it if they got Chernobog, Freya, Baron, Athena?
I can say without a shadow of a doubt, they wouldn't mind it.
They wouldn't mind it. I think they'd be okay with that one. That's for sure. Thanks so much for watching all day today. We had a lot of good stuff for you here. The Console League now wrapped up, but again, make sure you stay tuned. We'll have more information on those Smite Console Wars and all that kind of stuff coming up. They're all trying to get to HRX. Make sure you go get your HRX tickets while you still can. Thanks for watching. We got our Minor League tomorrow, also Esports Weekly at 10 a.m., so make sure we'll see you there. And until then, you can go ahead and peach it.